Let me say this clearly. You are not your mistakes. Not the relationship you ruined, not the job you lost, not the dumb decision you made when you were hurting. Those were just moments, not your identity. And in today's video, I want to talk about a few different topics on this subject. And I've mentioned them a little bit here and there in my previous videos, but this video I want to make it solely talking about your mistakes, or maybe one particular big mistake that you made and you've kind of made it your identity. And I want to talk about that a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about is you are not your worst moment. We've all messed up in our lives more than once, multiple times. And if I'm being honest, everyone watching this video, and me, myself included, we're going to mess up again, and probably multiple times in our future part of our lives. And some, of course, are worse than others. But regardless of how minor or how major the mistakes are or were, it doesn't define you. It doesn't make you that type of person. You know, it's easy to, especially when you're self-reflecting, it's easy to feel that way. You know, like that, you know, you got busted for drinking and driving, maybe. Let's just use that for example. Yes, it's not a very smart thing to do, but just because that something like that happens to you doesn't mean that's who you are for the rest of your life. You can learn from that dumb mistake, that dumb decision that you made, and you can use it to make sure you never do anything like that again and you don't get behind the wheel after drinking. You know, you can move past it. There's a difference between a man who stays broken and a man who grows from it. And that's from any type of mistake or problem. You know, one moves forward and then the other stays stuck. You pretty much have two options when it comes to self-reflecting and looking back on the mistakes you made, or maybe just a one big mistake like that. You know, there's, you know, of course, maybe you're addicted to drugs and you keep going back to it. You might be clean for a few days, maybe a few weeks, and you keep relapsing. That happens. That's normal. That's part of the whole getting clean process. But, you know, if you get to that point where you have to accept that that's not who you are. You're bigger than that and you're better than that. You don't have to be defeated by that and to kind of just subdue yourself to being a person addicted to drugs. You don't have to do that, right? You can move forward or you can stay stuck. Those are your two options. So the second point is growth comes from pain. Sometimes life hits you hard, right? But a lot of times those hard hits, the harder the hit, they typically will shape you in who you are today. If you look back at anything, and this could be good or bad, something hard in life that you accomplished or that you gone through or you figured it out, whatever that might be, the hardest parts of your life you usually learn the most from, and you usually gain the most experience and knowledge from it. So yes, you shouldn't be scared to face hard challenges, and some of the bad things that you might be doing, some of like mistakes that you know you're doing every day, you can get past them. You're bigger than your mistakes. You're bigger than your weaknesses. Pain teaches discipline. Mistakes are going to happen no matter what. Don't waste a lesson just because it hurts. You know, you have to learn from it and move on, right? Like I said, you don't want to be stuck. And the next point I want to talk about is guilt isn't weakness, it's awareness. So if you feel bad about what you did, or maybe what you're currently doing, that means your heart still works, right? That means, listen, like you have some type of feelings inside. You have enough awareness. You know, that guilt, you should listen to it and kind of feed into it a little bit and realize what you feel guilty about and why you feel guilty. Sometimes we feel guilt about something that is out of our control or something that we can't really undo. And I understand maybe if you did make a big mistake, unfortunately you might not be able to change it. But what you can do is you can grow from it and you can learn from it to make sure it doesn't happen again. You know, you're not cold, you're not evil, you're human, and humans learn. And as I said earlier in this video, you can't expect yourself to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. And again, for everyone watching this video, myself included, we're going to make multiple more mistakes in our lives. It's just part of life, and we can't let that completely wreck us and destroy us and keep us from growing and moving forward. If you look at, you know, anyone, right, this will be my fourth point. Nobody great had a perfect story. Whatever your vision of success looks like, some people it looks different. Some people it might be money, some people it might be fame, some people it might be family, whatever it might be. Whoever looks great, whoever you think about when you think of a great person, look at their story. You think strong men didn't fail? Any of the, you know, the top men in the world, right? Success, fame, rich, again, however you want to decide your image of success. They've gone through hardships, they've gone through challenges. They just refuse to let the failure own them, right? You know, I'm not a big superhero guy or, you know, watch a lot of those type of movies, but listen, like, heroes, they have scars, right? So will you. That's just part of it. You know, you look at, you know, superheroes, right? Like Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, all those things. I mean, you watch, again, any type of movie. It doesn't even have to be like a Marvel. I don't know why I use Marvel as an example, but any type of movie, the heroes, they always have scars, and that translates into the real world and into your real life. So my last point is you get to write the next chapter. The past is ink, right? Let's just call it how it is. It's already done. It's written. It's in the past. But the future, it's your pen, right? You know, you're not stuck. You're just scared. And that's completely normal, understandable to be scared after you made a mistake or multiple mistakes, right? So just start small. Make one better choice today. That's how you rewrite your life. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about here. Please leave your comments, leave your feedback. You know, you're not broken, you're building. So forgive yourself, learn from it, and just keep going, man. Your mistakes don't define you. How you rise and how you react does. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please leave your thoughts, comments down below. And I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.